So once again, greetings to everyone. So I've been listening to all the people, their perspectives about technical education, the skills part, how the curriculum is going on. So being coming from an educator's background, as Dr. Rupa has mentioned initially, after listening to all these things, I think I need to come with a different perspective altogether, not repeating what you had said. So I thought, let me talk about skills part. So when Dr. Rupa initially, she was speaking about about the vocational courses. One is about the professionals who want to upgrade themselves in the mid of their career, and second thing is the youth, the dropout from the educational institutions. But I want to touch upon the part who are not able to enroll themselves into the education institutions, but have the capacity of skilling themselves. So that part is very much important for any country. Why? Because we're always talking about the employment opportunities for the people who got registered into the education institutes, but not for the people who were left out or who were not able to register into the education institutes despite of the economic factors or any kind of other social factors which has actually stopped them despite of having a zeal that I want to get educated and get registered into education institution. For example, farmers. And one of the speaker initially, and I think second speaker, third speaker were mentioning please do something about the agriculture sector. So when we're talking to the farmers, basically, if you look at the Indian community or African perspective, a lot of people are from the farming background. But to be very frank, I don't think not even 99% of the farmers says that my kid want to be a farmer in the future. They don't want to see their kid and a son or daughter to be a farmer in the future. They want to see them as an engineer, a chartered accountant, or a doctor, somebody else. What is the reason? Despite of the fact, now there is a lot of scarcity of food in the world, but still, no farmer want to see their kid as a farmer. The reason why it is happening is the farmers are still following the old traditional methods for farming, despite of the fact that we have latest techniques, hydroponics, aeroponics, a lot of things where we can cultivate a lot of things. Now, and they can earn money compared to the old traditional methods. If they were able to cope up with the latest techniques available, 100% farmers can make money. But the main thing which is lacking is the knowledge of the latest, things which can be incorporated in farming. Now, how that can be bridged is imparting of the skills. How can we impart this particular technical education, occasional training, to those people who are not related to education sector, but indirectly they're contributing to the society and the growth of economic growth of the society. So this particular area, if we're able to do it, probably that is where even Africa or India or any other country can actually help in lifting up or uplifting their current situation in the society to the next level. On top of it, adding it for the economic growth of the countries. Now, for example, recently I've enrolled in a course called International Management Program for Managers. So in that, they were talking something about inclusive growth. Now, for which, this is a small example of my own example. I thought it can be shared on this platform. Now, in my campus, there are almost close to 3,500 hostelers staying in my campus. Now, we have been procuring food and vegetables from outside. Now, I thought, can I grow the required vegetables within my campus using the latest techniques? That is my selfish. I can do something for my kids. But at that point of time, I thought I'm actually snatching away the opportunity of the farmers surrounding me. Then I thought, okay, how can I contribute for the growth of those farmers as well if I start growing in my campus? Now, then what we thought is we want to make a facility within our campus to make sure we grow all the required vegetables, everything with the latest techniques possible in our campus. And we want to train all the farmers nearby our campus with those latest techniques. And we want to actually fund them to to procure those equipments and to start that utilize that latest equipment in the farming. So one way it is skilling them. They're not educated at the first time. One way we're making sure they're sticking back to their profession using the latest techniques, but we're actually helping them to improve their family standards, improve the economy of the country. So in that every aspect, whatever, because when I'm going through all your presentations, most of the people were talking about construction sectors, technical sectors and all the aspects. But there are some other sectors where we need to get connected to make sure, to uplift the economy of the country. So it all depends. Might be your so-called hierarchy of the education institutions, like, whether they allow you to give a degree on your own. For example, because of the COVID thing, one of the speaker has mentioned, now it has become like 42% of the people has become jobless because of the COVID. But whereas it is a big opportunity to turn as entrepreneur. No, just with respect to the case of India, now because of the thing which is happening with our neighbors now and the international political situations, now a lot of industries are looking forward to move into India. Now the challenge is, are we ready with the people, with the skills required for those to work in those industries? Is a big challenge for us. That is where, and now to be very frank, our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji has came up with the term called Skill India. Now, when he took up the charge as a Prime Minister for the first time for the Republic of India. And Skill India, now just look at the imagination of a leader. For example, he want to make sure it's not the skilled people are only available for India, but wherever there is the requirement of skill throughout all the neighboring countries of India, he want to send those people to make sure they have employment. So if every leader of the country was able to speak in think in those lines, thinking of this is the opportunity which we're going to see after 10 years or 15 years, and now because of the COVID thing, now we're just getting virtually connected. I myself used to travel to Africa at least 2 to 3 times in a year, because I have a lot of students from West Africa, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Benin, Togo, Mali, Sudan, and South Sudan. So I used to travel at least 2 to 3 times. Now I'm just virtually connected. In the same way, when we are not able to travel to other things, and because of various political reasons, now it is the time for us to stand up. He has given a latest thing called Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now that we have to self-sustain. It's not like we are isolating from everybody. We have to self-sustain in this tough times to grow, to move. So these are all the initiatives, nothing but skilling of a particular generation or skilling of a particular country. So because I might sound a little bit different, but based on the conversations and the presentation which I have been seeing, please think out of the box. Please don't restrict yourself for the technical positions or something. We are trying to uplift a generation. We are trying to empower a generation. We are trying to educate a generation. Education is not something which we go to schools and learn, right? Education is something we're actually empowering them to learn from the work they do, and how can we do in a better way by implementing the latest techniques that is there in the world. So if you're able to bridge that gap, irrespective of the field, construction, agriculture, petroleum, you talk any industry, if you're able to bridge that gap, I think that is when we can actually help in building a proper skill sector required for your country to move forward in this competitive world, and also to make sure we are going to empower all our people, not only youth, not only educated, everyone in our country are going, their statuses, living standards are going to be uplifted, and also the economy of the country will be boosted up. I think with these few words, I just want to restrict myself, because there's been too much of time delayed, and even I had because of the delay, my schedules has been also postponed. So next time, if given me a chance, probably I would love to speak at length. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, our last speaker.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, our last speaker has answered the question for the first speaker, that
yes,
we can empower the people on the down at the bottom of the pyramid. And you can see you did that very effectively by teaching the farmers how to do smart farming. So I think we need to do a lot of collaboration. And I'm happy that you're saying you have been coming to Africa. So you need to come to Africa more often, so that you can teach us about farming and about how to pick our people from the bottom of the pyramid. We thank you so much with that. Thank you so much, our speakers. I know we are